Yo, yo, yo. What
What's
up,
up?
y'all?
What up?
What up, Monica?
Nah,
Long time no YouTube.
I know. I'm just not feeling it. That I was
Yeah, I
I
feel
was
you.
coerced into creating a channel, and I had minimal interest in it to begin with. Just
Yeah,
I run
nah,
out of
yeah.
topics. I mean, I don't know. I think that the next one I'll do though, because I've been reading a boatload of books. I think we're going to do another book club sesh when I go live next, because there have been so
I
many
can dig
books
it.
that we haven't talked about.
Yeah, nah, I've been, my work schedule's been up and down. So I literally got off vacation and then switched jobs and then it's just been like uneven. So yeah, I haven't had really time to f with the BS on the YouTube or.
I mean, yeah, that I've been busy. Like I was out of town earlier this week. Like I didn't do it tonight because I'm still kind of fried from flying. And
Right.
and you already had a topic.
Oh,
So
you were out of town.
yeah, I flew out to Portland. I was in Oregon for like 5 days.
We Jeebus.
Yeah, that's a
That's a
brutal plane ride.
ways away.
Somebody who doesn't like to fly, that's a brutal plane ride. And my husband has to
What
have
was the?
seat. So I have to sit in the middle seat because he doesn't want us to sit in different rows.
That's nah. I'd rather sit on a row seat
Yeah, I got to sit on
so
the
I can
aisle.
get the
That's where
first
I
drink.
sit. But he bitches if I put
Yeah.
somebody between us. And I was like, well,
Mm.
shut up. I mean, it's. I went ahead and it was for my uncle's funeral, so I went ahead and just sat in the middle seat and just bitched the whole
Oh,
time.
really? Your uncle passed away?
Yeah, yeah, it was kind of
Sorry to
sudden.
hear that.
Things, yeah. He was my dad's last sibling, and he was there with my dad when my dad passed away. And during his celebration of life after the service, they were showing obviously pictures of him over the years, and there were a lot of pictures of him and my dad, and that made me really break down.
Yeah, yeah. I can dig it. I can dig it. Yeah, my uncle's right now is going through um he had a stroke a few years ago, and according to my grandma, he's like on the verge of another one. So yeah.
Well, that sucks. I'm sorry to
Yeah.
hear that. Thanks, Wedge.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Wedge. Yeah, but I mean, he's like me. He doesn't really take care of himself. So, he's like almost 70 and drinks probably a pint of booze a day and probably a
Dude,
12 pack. Yeah.
after a stroke, even. All right.
Smokes. Yeah, and he
Zero,
smokes like those
zero
$2
shit
pack of
given.
cigarettes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like, I don't give a shit.
Clearly. My goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, dude, that smells like a cigar.
I guess you're gonna
That doesn't smell like a cigarette.
live your life the way you want to live your life. I mean, I do. I believe in eating healthy, but I don't believe in eating food that you just cannot stand. I mean, make the
Right.
healthier choice, but don't eat like crap you can't. So what's the point of living if you're just miserable the whole time you're doing it? You know,
Exactly. That's
gotta
how I
enjoy
kind of live. And I've been living healthier lately. I'm on like protein shakes and like I'm drinking. Well, it was coffee, but I ran out of coffee, so it's basically creamer and whiskey.
You
but
improvise.
close enough.
You work with what you got.
You know it.
I'm drinking lemonade.
So anything new other than that? How's your garden doing?
My garden is suffering because it's August and I live in Texas. Yeah. It's screaming for mercy. But let's see, of the probably $800 to $1,000 I spent on this stupid ass garden this year, I've gotten exactly one cucumber that is inedible, one butternut squash, like maybe a dozen jalapenos, and a couple of sweet peppers, and that is the extent of my harvest. Those are expensive vegetables.
Yeah, this is true. Erlson says, how's the security work going? It's going, man. I had one property that, dude, it was weird. I went there and it was like almost like spiritual warfare. Like I was just like parked up, chilling and making sure everyone's okay. And everybody, not the homeless people, like they were all cool with me. And I'd be like, oh man, you got to move. Yeah, I'm like, well, you got to move it out, blah, blah, blah. But the residents, they would like drive out to go wherever they're going and drive in. And as they were doing it, they're like flicking me off and yelling me F you and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, I'm here trying to help y'all guys, and like, yeah. And, one dude, his car alarm started going off. So I went over there to, shine my light, make sure like nothing was broken into or whatever. And dude comes out with his key fob and he turns it off and he's like, fuck you, asshole, blah, blah, blah. You get the fuck out. And I'm like, dude, I'm making sure your car's straight, bro.
Listen, just because you're a miserable piece of shit in your own life, don't try to throw that at me.
Yeah, I told Josh. Yeah, I told Josh and them, I was like, dude, I can't work that spot. I was like, because I will catch an assault case. Like, you can't talk to me like that, dude. Like, I'm Gen X. I will smack the shit out of you, dude. Like, yeah, I don't have the temperament for that.
You slap the taste out of their mouth.
Hell yeah. Fuck that shit. Yeah, I don't get paid enough for that. If you pay me $50 an hour, sure. But yeah. No.
I wouldn't take that shit for that money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, nah, I can't. Move me to a different spot. So they moved me to some spots in South Austin, and they were really nice. It was like really chill. All I had to do was like watch garages, make sure that other cats weren't parking in there so they could go to the bar next door and and park illegally, or I'd have to tow them, So I'm like, hey man, if you ain't a resident, you're gonna get towed, that kind of shit. But yeah, I was like, nah, don't put me in that spot no more, because I'm gonna end up going to jail, and unless you're paying my bail, that ain't gonna happen.
Breezy's like, you get an elbow, give an elbow, and you get an elbow.
Exactly.
You get what you give. Don't start none, don't be none. Right.
Right. Yeah. And then
retail, I had to deal with assholes like that. This one dude walked in one day screaming at my sales associate. just screaming at her because he bought his wife a ring. I mean, he was doing the good husband thing, right? I was a store manager for a jewelry store way back when. And he was doing the good thing. And, he bought early, which is fine. He bought a size 6 ring. His wife's hoof was a size 9. That's like my big toe. All right. I'm sorry you married a linebacker, my guy, and you don't know her ring size. He was pissed because she came in and she wanted to size. I can't size a ring up 3 sizes. Like the shank would look like a snowman. Like it doesn't work that way. And he just, she came in and the associate said, I'm really sorry. I can't do anything for you. Like if you want to pick something else out, whatever. I don't know if she was upset. She seemed fine when she left the store, according to my salesperson, but he shows up with the ring just flipping out. Just didn't even let the associate say it, just started screaming, red face. One of those assholes who's got to assert their dominance, like slapping his dick on the counter just to, let me see what a little cocktail weenie
I've
looks
done
like.
that a few times.
But that's bullshit. Like, and so he wanted to talk to her manager and yada, 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 yada. So I go stand in there and he starts screaming at me. And I ask him a question and he starts screaming and I go to follow it and he screams over me talking. And I finally said, are you just going to scream or are you going to let me help you? And your answer is going to determine what happens next.
What I do for you, right? Yeah.
And he said, so he finally shut up and I was like, I'll help you, man. I'm not going to, we'll return the ring. We'll give you a full, it's been 3 months. It's past the return time, but I get it. You bought it early. I'm not going to stick you with something she can't use. I'm not a jerk. I'll work with you, but coming in here, just screaming out of the gate is stupid. I do not do that to me. Do not do that to me.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Like, treat me with respect. I'll treat you with respect. Yeah.
I'll verbally slap your ass too. Shut the fuck up. I am God in here. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. But it was weird. Like all the people that shouldn't have been there, like there was this dude sleeping under a tree, and I'm like, yo, man, I'm like, hey, you gotta move it out. I was like, at least take it to the sidewalk. I don't give a shit. As long as you're not on the property. And he's like, well, it was good while it lasted. Like, yeah, I bet, man, no problem, like cool as shit, but the residents were just fucking dicks, dude. And then when I talked to Josh and Anthony, they were like, we've never experienced anything like that at that spot, and I was like, well, I fucking did. Like,
yeah,
no, yeah, exactly. What up, Mickey G? What up, Spark? Who else is in here? Let's see. Wedge, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank y'all for joining in.
Fullerson, Andres is here. Let's see who else. Mr. G. Good to see everybody.
Hell yeah. And I'm glad to be back. I know it's usually your night, but I didn't know if I have to work tomorrow because I'm like on a bouncy schedule.
Sure.
So I told them,
like that.
I told them, I told them Thursdays are reserved for Monica, and I'm not working Thursdays, and Sundays are reserved for Jennifer. So I don't work Sundays because she's got a job at Specs now. So
like fun.
Of course, Yeah, so well, now I get a discount on liquor. Yay!
That sounds dangerous, is what that sounds.
Yeah, kind of a little bit.
I was pumping gas today and I was looking at
But
the rates that they pay at Buc-ee's, and I was like, I'd be a stalker, like full
oh, that's
time, like and
crazy.
nighttime, like overnight, like part-time, like stalking person. I don't care. If I don't have to deal, I just don't want to talk to people anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I told Jen about that, and she was like, "Yeah, but they drug test because she's a smoker." So
Uh,
she's like, "Yeah, I can't do that."
See, I'd pass. I'd be like,
I was like,
what's
"Damn it!"
the 2 to 6 a.m. shift? Like, I'm not going to run into anybody. Like, it probably see some shit, like working those hours. Like, I'd get some stories out of it. You know,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
don't get cool stories
definitely.
from working 8 to 4. You get cool stories working 2 to 6.
Yeah, yeah. That's when you're like, this dude came in a trench coat,
Yeah, with the crown and the tutu,
and
and
that's how it's.
yeah, half a face of makeup. I
That's
don't
how
know what was
it's.
going on. Little Victoria happening.
I thought it was a dude, and then he undid the trench coat, and it wasn't. But
Well,
yeah, Spark's working 2 jobs right now. Uh,
Mickey said, I worked a gas station back in the day overnight. Wow is all I can say.
yeah, I bet, because I've I've been one of those guys at the gas station,
I've never worked anything
like
like
running in
that.
at the
I don't
very.
want to go into it. Like, I don't want to get up. I really don't want to deal with clients anymore. I don't want to deal with them. Gotta get paid a lot of money.
Yeah, no, I've been that.
I'll
I've
take
been
a
that guy that runs
in the
in there
back.
like that runs in like 2 minutes till 12, and I'm like, give me a 12 pack of Budweiser. And they're like, sir, you got like 59 seconds. Like, well, ring me up quick.
What are you counting down?
That's
Like,
what we got to do.
I guess so. But Ullerson's got some weird stuff happening. We should have him on your show, man.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if
Like,
you want to join on, come
tons
on
of
with it.
stories. You guys can share
Yeah,
like bullshit security thing. I can get my brother's a security guard. He's got some stories. He used to work this old paper mill like out in the sticks in East Texas. He's like, sis, if there's ever a haunted place, it was this paper mill. He said there was some creepy shit. He'd see shadows in the tree lines. He was like, there was some crazy stuff going on there.
dude, that's what I was seeing at that one spot. There was like, man, I don't want to sound crazy because I know it does sound crazy, but there was some people that I saw there that weren't people. Like, they were not human beings. And I was like, what the fuck am I looking at? Because their faces would change and shit. It was really weird.
Did the reptiles forget
But
to
I
ask
was
you?
like, yeah, kind of. And then this one chick, she pulled up next to a car, and I just went to go do my rounds. And like, I drove past her, and I like tipped my hat, and I was like, hey, how's it going?
Ma'am.
And she's like, yeah, and she's like, this motherfucker, blah 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 blah. And I was like, what the fuck, and I went around the next time because it's like a U-shaped drive. And I went around the next time, and this chick came like got in her big ass truck and came like, because I got a little bitty convertible, and like zoomed by my car like within like 8 inches, like almost like knocked my mirror off. And she was like, "What the fuck are you fucking looking at? What you trying to look for something?" And I'm like, security, yeah. That's my fucking job. Like, yeah, I'm looking for something, like making sure everything's cool.
Point.
Yeah, yeah, that's the fucking point. Yeah. But yeah, so tonight we're just gonna touch down on, we're probably gonna only go about maybe another hour. But we're gonna do the yogurt shop unalivings, I guess you would say.
With all the
I know that they do it on,
matters if
yeah,
we call it what it is.
yeah, the yogurt shop murders. Monica's got the details, and I got the story because I grew up not too far away. Like literally, I used to go to North Cross Mall all the time off of Anderson Mill Road, and that's where it happened, pretty much where it happened. And it was a weird time because this is 1991, early 1991. It was in December, and after that, like Austin really took a left turn. Like it went from being like this hippie town, kind of a thing, to then the Luby's thing happened right after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the Luby shooting happened, and that was like the first big shooting in the U.S. since the UT Tower shootings. So it was like,
When was
like everything took a. What's that?
I'm trying to remember when the Luby's murders or the Luby shooting.
It was like late 91.
Yeah, it was late. I hadn't moved here yet. I must have seen it on the national news because I hadn't moved to Texas yet. I didn't move until 92. So
Yeah.
I remember seeing
it was yeah, it was big news. That was like the first, I guess you can compare it to like the school shootings and stuff like that. It was very, very odd and out there.
I remember calling.
So like
big one.
That was I was on 420 in what, like 94, I think.
95.
Something like that.
I was
94, 95.
Oh no, because I was already down in Houston. So it was probably like late 96 or 97.
Yeah. So it was like when it all started becoming unraveled. Because, yeah, before that, like the only thing I can remember was the UT Tower thing. And that was like in the 60s, early 60s. And we'll have to do a show on that one. That's a good one. That's really freaking weird. But I digress. Yeah, so it was on Anderson Mill Road, I believe, and which is about a mile from where I grew up. We used to like ride our bikes to. So you had two malls. You had Highland Mall, and then you had North Cross Mall. And North Cross Mall was the nice one. like Highland Malls where if you wanted to go get shot, but not like a mass shooting. Like if you wanted to go start some shit, that's where it went down. But North Cross Mall was the only ice skating ring that they had in Austin. It was just really really nice. It was a cool mall. Even whenever I went to high school and stuff afterwards, um, it was like just a really chill place to go. We used to skip school, skip high school, and go up there and f around all day.
It was a place to be in the day, the mall.
Yeah, the mall. Yeah, yeah. People don't remember that shit.
I do. I remember being so excited to go to the mall.
Oh yeah, dude. You get dropped off, and then they'll be like, "All right, we'll be back at 8.
Yeah. Be here at
Call
8.
me if you need me."
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so these two girls that worked there, I think it was Jennifer and Eliza that worked there, and then they went and picked up Jennifer. I think it was Jennifer's sister, and you got the names. I don't have the names. And
So
her
yeah,
homegirl.
so it was Jennifer and Eliza were the employees. So you want me to say the victims?
Yeah.
So the victims were
Yeah,
13-year-old Amy Ayers, 17-year-old Eliza Thomas, 17-year-old Jennifer Harbison, and her sister, 15-year-old Sarah Harbison. And Sarah and Amy were at the shop because they were waiting to get rides once the shop closed. They were
right.
waiting to
Yeah.
get rides home, I guess, from Jennifer.
Yeah, and they were all basically uh there was no rob well, no, there was a robbery. There was, but it was only like for 100 and something dollars. It was like petty cash. And uh yeah, they were all bound up by their own underwear and garments. Let's just put it that way.
Mm.
And one of them was assaulted, and the other three were uh, basically shot in the back of the head.
They were all shot in the head.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but there
But
were
one
like
of them was
three in
assaulted.
one row. Yeah, right. And then the other one was dragged to the back or whatever. And it was crazy because I remember I was at, I think it was a Whataburger on North Lamar, or maybe a Wendy's or something. And I remember hearing about it on the radio, and it was like it was just nutso because you never heard nothing like that. Like, especially, mass style. Like, there's gang shootings all the time out there, but there was never group shootings, I guess you would say. You know what I mean? So
Mass shooting.
it was a shock to, yeah, I guess that's what you call it. But yeah, there was never nothing like that. It was totally a shock to the community.
Sure.
And then I think it was a couple years later or whatever, they started linking it down because there was two weapons that were used. One was a 38, one was a 22, and they found this dude at North Cross Mall like a week later, and he had the same 22 pistol, you know. But back then they didn't have like the forensics, you know what I mean? Like they couldn't tell exactly what bullet went to what gun. Well, at least Austin couldn't, you know. And so they arrested him, and he told on his homeboys, and there was like 4 of those dudes, and those were Monica. You're up.
My turn. So
Yeah,
the suspects were Robert Springsteen, Michael Scott, who, if you watch The Office, it's Michael Scott, Maurice Pierce, and Forrest Wellborn. Those were the suspects, and they were all teenagers at the time of the happening.
yeah, they were kids too. That Springfield dude or whatever his name is, that dude. I don't know. He just had to look to him. I don't know. I mean, that's not enough to like convict a motherfucker, but and I watched him on a documentary, but I don't know. The dude just looks weird to me. What equipment? Oh, this right here. That's my microphone. I don't know. Other than that, it's signed autograph.
Yeah, Springsteen. Yeah.
Does that dude look weird?
Yeah, let me see if I can get this image over here on my computer so I can share it to everybody. Hold on. Let me see if I can save this image. Is it letting me save it? Let's see. I don't know if it's going to let me save that. Let's try again. Images. We'll try. But anyway, yeah, this dude is crazy. I mean, if anybody looks the part,
he looks like
that, like Pierce. Something's up with Pierce too.
Yeah, there's 2 of them that look like meh. Yeah, but the other 2, I just don't see it. They look like. But then again, you know, like I was actually watching a few serial killer docs, and I started relating the fact that, dude, all of those dudes, like, you know, like when you start looking at Gacy and all those cats, and Berkowitz.
The first one there is Springs.
Yeah.
Next one is Pierce. Next one is Wellborn. And the last one is Scott. So yeah, Springsteen there. That's not even the mugshot we're referring to, but if anybody had a look, if you're going to be convicted on looks alone, the guy looks pissed off.
Yeah, he's guilty of something. Yeah.
Okay, so, and I've got to say that Pierce here, the second guy, he looks like that filter that TikTok has. I don't know if you've ever seen Laura Cleary. She's a comedian, and she does.
Yeah.
She does this filter where she's got like the big square jaw, and she makes like all these crude. He looks like her on filter.
That's funny.
So anyway,
I know what you're talking about.
I would convict Springsteen on looks alone. I'd need to be standing next to the dude to get the vibe, but the vibe coming through the photo isn't good. I can tell you that.
Right? Yeah. I know. Like he at least robbed a house or something.
Yeah, he's like,
like,
he's
even if he wasn't guilty of. Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
But
the one at the end, too. The
so
one at the
yeah,
end looks like he just goes along with it. Like he's the one on the end there, Scott. He looks like he's just, he just goes along with whatever.
yeah, he was the dude in the back seat, like, don't do it, guys.
Wellborn looks like he'd be the guy
Yeah,
that go along with it until it got like super serious, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know, but I didn't sign up for this. I don't know."
yeah. But
Anyway,
but what's weird about it is they all pretty much, well, two of them I think confessed, right? And but
so I don't.
there
Yeah,
was actually like, go ahead.
I don't know. I see. I couldn't tell if they confessed or if they had made statements and the police were trying to tell them that their statements, like saying something, oh yeah, well this happened, you know, was a form of confession, but then, during or after the trial, they couldn't tell whether or not the police had coerced them, like fed them information, right? And if you feed
Right,
somebody information, it's going to sound like they know what's going on, even if they don't.
right. Well, see, that's another weird thing. So what I was getting into is like 52 people in America alone confessed to these murders. So, and there was this cop that worked for APD. He was a detective, and he was known for like pulling whack confessions out of people. Like threatening them out of, like, this is it. We know you. We got you. We have you on camera. And they were telling that dude, like, yeah, we got you on camera. And, you spend 24 hours or something in a confession room and with no sleep or nothing. You kind of like your body just kind of gives out. You're like, like, all
Stop
right,
answering
whatever.
at any point, too. You can stop answering at any point. You don't have
Right,
to,
yeah.
if they drag you into interrogation, doesn't mean you got to talk. I have to tell you shit.
Right.
You can sit here, yeah, it's going to be boring, but
But
we can sit here. 72-hour like habeas court. You got so much time to charge me with something, and then you got to let me go. Are you charging me?
right.
Like,
Yeah,
okay, and
absolutely.
if not, I mean, let me go. And if you are, I want an attorney. I mean, that's the first
Yeah.
thing. Like, that's the first rule is shut the up.
Yeah.
Shut
Shut
the
the fuck up.
up. That is the first thing your attorney is going to tell you. Shut the
Yeah. But then again, like back then it was the 90s, so or early 90s, so like a lot of people didn't have that same information.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a kid too. You know what I mean? Like you got an authority figure, and you don't know your rights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I had a
But
I did justice. What was it I was taking? I was taking something in high school. And that was the first thing the teacher told us. Shut up.
yeah,
Don't say anything.
yeah.
If
Don't
a
say
cop
nothing.
asks if they can search your car, no. You can't search my car.
Yeah.
You got probable cause? No.
Right.
But I also
But
grew
yeah,
up
but I mean,
in the country, so
yeah, but when I was a kid, like if a cop was like, "We're searching your car," I'm like, "Okay, well, you're searching my car." Like, I didn't realize the rights that I had. You know what I mean?
my rights were made very clear to
Yeah.
me very young. But I understand that a lot of people don't have that, knowledge.
Yeah, that information and knowledge. Yeah,
And
but
like, sometimes, I mean, I don't know if these guys might have done it. Guilty conscience makes you tough. Except for Springsteen, he looks like he'd keep
this is true. yeah, like the Springfield dude or whatever his name is. I'm bad with names. That's why I had Monica help me out with it. I was like, you gotta help me. There's no way I'm gonna remember all this shit. But so he was parked, or the other dude was parked at like a block away, and he was like, I got to go out for a little bit, and then rolled out, and then came back like 30 to 45 minutes later. He's like, I did something. We got to get out of here, you know. And so whenever the police interrogated him, he was like, yeah. He was like, dude, he took the 22 and rolled out and blah blah blah. You know, so there was a big thing with that.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was this other dude, Marilyn Manson looking cat, and him, the people that saw him parked outside of the yogurt shop, they described him like almost to a T. And then him and his homeboy got arrested in Mexico. And then in Mexico, they confessed to the yogurt shop murders and blah, blah, blah. But later on, they recanted and said that no, like Mexico just wanted the, what do you call it? The,
Notoriety, the
notoriety for it. Yeah, exactly. And they were like, yeah, they pretty much beat it out of us. But it wasn't us, you know what I mean? But that one was a weird one. Then there was these, all these other ones. That's what really weirds me out about it. Like 52 people confessed to it, like either written or verbally confessed to the whole thing. And it's like
not balls come out of the wall with stuff like this. That's people confess to crap they didn't do just for attention. Or because of whatever mental illness they happen to be suffering from at the time.
But it's Texas, so you got to think that's death penalty. So like you're literally confessing to, you know,
they're not yet, but they've got mental illness. They're not thinking it through, right? They've got some disorder, we'll call it, that makes them want that kind of attention, even if it's negative, even if it could potentially, you know, lead to they're not thinking that far ahead.
Yeah. Or just, you know, confessing to something else that they did and, you know, have guilty conscience about something.
Sure.
You know, even though it wasn't that crime, you know. But yeah, and so they ended up setting the whole thing on fire after the girls were murdered. And there was like a party store next door, and the dude noticed smoke going on, called the fire department, and they just went in and hosed the whole thing down. So it got rid of any fingerprints, DNA, blah, blah, blah. But they did find DNA in the girl that was assaulted. But it was only back then, they didn't have like DNA like we have now. They only had like I guess the male part of the DNA. So like from what I was watching on a documentary, and I don't know why the documentary is like predominant now. Like I could see it on an anniversary or something, you know. But for some reason, it's been popping up on YouTube, and there's a Netflix one, there's the HBO one, and it's like I don't know, it's like popping off at the seams. It's weird.
That's a really popular
And
true crime like case, though, the yogurt shop killings.
yeah, yeah. But like, why now? I don't understand it.
I
You
think it
know?
always has been. I think that it's time. You know, people just picked it, and because one person picked it and started a doc on it, then everybody else is jumping on board.
Right. Yeah, true that. True that. But yeah, so like two of them got convicted. One of them went to death row for it. That Springfield dude or whatever. And but he got exonerated, I guess, or whatever you call it, like later on. And so he's like free to go. You know, like, and he's like on the documentary, he's like, but he still looks crazier than batshit.
Yeah,
Like,
guilty of something.
if you ask me. And I'm not saying that's enough to convict somebody, but that dude looks like he's out of his damn mind.
Yeah, but I mean, being incarcerated. Okay, so I would say being incarcerated will change you like that, but he looked pretty freaking jacked prior
Yeah.
to that. But again, you can't convict people just on their face.
Yeah, he could have been doing bathtub meth. Who knows?
Yeah, he had a hard like 17 years there. I mean, people do. Some people do.
Yeah. Yeah, so but it was actually weird because the main detective got removed from the case. Excuse me. And and they brought in new detectives years later that reopened the case, and those cats were talking about that dude from Mexico, but they didn't find nothing on anything. So it was like a, you know, like a ghost face killer. It was, they didn't.
I don't know who did it. And, you know, the DNA evidence that they collected from the victim that was assaulted hasn't been matched to,
Right.
I mean, currently hasn't been matched. I mean, we're not just back then when it took place in the 90s, like currently hasn't been matched to any of the four suspects. Because the two that were convicted,
Right.
and Springsteen was sentenced to death, right? So he sat on death row for a little while before it was overturned.
Yeah.
One of them
Yeah.
were linked through DNA to her. That doesn't mean that there wasn't some fifth dude who committed that act and they weren't still involved in it somehow. There was just nobody present that matched to any of the four suspects.
Right. And that didn't also mean, like, there was a one here in Bastrop, the Stacy Stipes murder, Rodney Reed, where he was having an affair with the chick, and her boyfriend was a cop and found out about it. And, you know, there's speculation that he had him set up because they found his DNA in her.
I'd buy that 100
Yeah,
that a cop would set somebody up if he was pissed. I know the personality. Not every
yeah,
cop is bad. Not every cop is bad. Something was going on, I'd run
right,
to a cop. All right, but
right.
like in personal relations, like all the cops I knew, I wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't want to be dating or married to a police officer from the ones that
Yeah,
I've been exposed to. And my brother, who went through the police academy, he was like, "Sis, whatever you do, please, for the love of God, don't date, don't date a cop."
yeah, yeah. Well, well, that dude, that cop actually, he got uh, fired from Bastrop County, and then went to Leander and ended up assaulting a girl in the back of his cop car.
Yeah.
Like, so it was like, wait a minute, like, yeah,
On a side note,
like,
talking about cops and cop
yeah,
cars, did you see the news where the cops? And I want to say, I don't think it was in the U.S. I think it might have been like down in Mexico. But anyway, there's a male and female like partnered cops. They were having like an affair in a back alley, like with the windows down. There's like video of it in the cop
yeah, yeah.
car during their show. I was like roll it out to the countryside. Like, don't do it. It did like forever. You're going to be stupid like that. At least be smart about how you're being stupid.
Yeah, be smart about being stupid, stupid.
Yeah, don't be so stupid.
Yeah, no shit. But yeah, so
Morons.
there's so many weird loose ends to that I don't think it's ever going to be, completely squashed. Now, I do have, because they all went to Lanier High, right? And so, like, I was like right on the border of the district between Lanier and Reagan. And so I ended up going to Reagan High, and which was the worst high school in Austin. Like, you had to carry a gun. that was all there was to it. Like, you can ask Josh Turner. Like, it was just crazy.
About it.
Yeah, it's that place was just nuts. But Lanier was actually a nice high school. Like, that's where like the chicks with the high hair and like Aqua Teen,
Well, that was everywhere in the
or
80s.
Aquanet or whatever.
That was everywhere in the 80s.
Well, yeah, early 90s too.
Yeah, it was still happening in the 90s. Just because the 90s rolled over doesn't mean that like it ended abruptly. It was a slow phasing out. It went from big hair to
right
and grunge.
Yeah. Well, in my high school at Reagan, it was all cholas and shit.
Oh well, yeah.
Like it was all like like magic marker.
No, I know.
Eyebrows and shit.
Remember that neighborhood?
But
they were all over the place there.
Yeah, but Lanier was like actually a really nice, respected. It was a good high school to go to. Like the mall that everybody went to was a good place. Everything was like kosher. You know what I'm saying? Like everything was good. There wasn't no crime, minimal crime, I'd say. But yeah, after that, it was I was reading this. But I don't know. It was a shock to the community.
Sure. Holy cow.
I remember Yeah, it was pretty freaking hardcore. And then so okay, so let me fast forward. Okay, this goes into speculation, right? So my homeboy that I grew up with, he was like best friends with Eliza, and he was supposed to be there that night. And uh, he says that there was this dude that used to be like a pimp slash, he owned a bunch of strip clubs in Austin, uh, drug dealer type cat, you know. And like I said, this is purely speculation. This is just what, you know, he told me. And that he had a bunch of police on his payroll, and he was trying to get those girls on the team, you know. And that's when they refused, that's when he had them excommunicado. You know what I mean? Like, so, but he don't remember the dude's name, but he used to wear a freaking bracelet till he was like, I don't know, like 25 or 26, that had their memorial shit on it, because he was like one of her best friends. And he was like, man, if I would have been there that night, blah, 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 you know, like maybe it wouldn't happen, or maybe I would have been a victim also, yada, 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 because they were closing up. They went and got the other two girls from North Cross Mall, brought them over there to help them, you know, clean up and close up, you know, and that's when it all went down, you know. So I don't know. And if you look at the way the cops got removed from the case, there's this one, the first detective, they pulled him off the case almost immediately because he was getting like really close to it.
Yeah, well,
apparently.
When it's young victims, I'm sure it's hard not to, especially, I mean, I don't know who the detective was. Like, if you have children and you're working a case that is children or young adults, like close to your own children's age, I can see where it would be very difficult not to like take that to heart and like get close. Like, I think I would have a hard time turning that off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he had to go through like PTSD therapy and all that shit after that. Yeah.
Well, sure. I mean,
Yeah.
I was talking to my husband earlier tonight, and I was like, you know, when I first like enrolled in college, I was taking criminal justice courses. And I was like, you know, sometimes I wish I had continued with criminal justice, but then I think like I don't know if I could have handled all the shit I would have seen on the daily. You know.
Yeah.
Me, I want to climb a ladder.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have stayed patrol. Like, if I went in as patrol, I wouldn't have stayed. Like, I would have tried to like get up into detective. You know, I would have tried to climb the ranks, and I would have been exposed to some shit. I don't know if I would have handled all of that very well.
Yeah, no, I couldn't get myself that close to it. There's no way. Yeah. That'd bring up too much past trauma. I couldn't deal with it.
I mean, maybe
No way.
I mean, if it was straight out of college, like my life, like I wouldn't have had a lot of stuff that had happened to me already. Like at this point in my life, happened to me back then, so I would have been like without that influence. But I still like, I don't know what kind of person I would have turned. Like, I don't know if I want to be a kind of person that can turn off your feelings. Like, you can block people out or block situations out. I mean, it sucks to feel
Yeah.
guilty for a lot of things, but I don't know if I want to like just be able to like switch it off and push it in a, you know, in a corner of my mind for my own sanity. I don't know if I want to be that person either.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't. There's no way. I have enough problems dealing with my own shit, let alone everybody else's. There's no way. Like, yeah.
I mean, at
No,
this point,
yeah.
I'd turn into Dexter.
Yeah, exactly.
I couldn't do it. I'd be the serial killer working in the police department.
Yeah, no kidding. No, I not to shift gears, but man, last night I had this, it was like a long lasting dream because I'd wake up like every hour, like terrified, right? And then when I'd fall asleep, I'd be right back in it. And what it was it was kind of like the opposite of a ghost, I guess you would say.
That would be a living
Like,
person.
cause like, yeah, cause I was like in my house as a kid, and like I'd hear my mom talking in the living room, and I'd go in there and be like, "Hey, mom," and there wouldn't be anybody in there, and I was like, what the, what the hell?
That's like,
And
like voices, mimic voices. I've had that happen to me a few times.
yeah, but like, and then so like my stepdad, he was like taking a shower, and I was like, all right, well, I'll just wait out here until he gets done with his shower, and and then I'll see him, when he comes out, and I hear the shower turn off, and then the lights turn off, and the door open, but he's not there, but I could hear him talking, and I was like, I'm like yelling at him. I'm like, yo, like, hey, where are y'all? And so this was going on hour by hour by hour. And then it got to a point where I was older and I was in my house, and it was the same thing with Jen and Jaden. Like I could hear Jaden in his room playing video games and shit, and I'd go and open the door and there's no one in there. And then I'd hear Jen in the bedroom, like yelling at him, like, or yelling at the cat or whatever. And I'd go in there and she wasn't there. So I was like, kind of like in the back room, you know what I mean? And I was like freaking the fuck out, dude. I was like, and like I was like screaming and shit. And like I woke Jen up because I was literally screaming. I was like, Mom, where are you? I can't find you. She's like, shut the fuck up. Trying to go to sleep. Yeah, it was weird, man. It was, yeah. But I don't know where that went from, but yeah. But back to the yogurt shop thing. So yeah, I don't think that there's ever gonna be a resolve to that case. But it was weird how that started a trend in Texas where like right after that there was the Luby's thing, and that was a huge freaking thing. Like I think it was like 30 something people that got it was like, and it was like, because okay, so Killeen is where one of the biggest military bases are in the world, not just in Texas, but in the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and yeah, and this dude just rammed a truck into Luby's and
I remember that.
just yeah, just started offing people. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was like just so random. I remember thinking that's so random. Like what? What? Like my mind couldn't wrap around somebody just flipping out and doing that money because it was so alien in that time
Right,
for something like that.
right,
I mean, not completely unheard. Like certainly things like that had happened. It was so rare that I had a hard time like wrapping my head. Like what? What do you mean some dude rammed his car into a? First of all, I had no idea what a Luby's was. I mean, I figured it was some kind of restaurant. Because I was in
really.
California, there's no Luby's in California, and this went down. So, but I was like, I couldn't figure like somebody like freaking ramming into the Sizzler and just opening fire on random people. Like, you know,
Right. Yeah.
I'm thinking if you're going to get a mass shooting, somebody's like targeting, like postal, like they're targeting employee, like a disgruntled employee kind of,
Right. Right.
you know,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
remember thinking, did he work there? Was he just like, did he work? Like, I couldn't wrap my head around just
No,
the
he
randomness of it.
yeah, he was like from Belton and which is not it's I think it's west of Killeen by like 30 minutes. And that's all he was saying when he was going through it and popping chicks off. And he was like, this is for all you Belton bitches, and just popping people off. It was just that was
Belton's
but
depressing
then
enough as it is. Like, I drove through Belton and I was like, this is some depressing shit. Like, I already think that, don't come for me. I already think that a lot of Texas is ugly and depressing anyway. I was like, this is
yeah.
particularly like depressing.
Yeah, no. Now I'm making you Belton, Texas. It's south of Temple. Um, I actually got kicked out of Belton. I got banned
Like
from
the
Belton.
city of Belton. They drove you to the city
Yeah,
and were like, don't show your face here again, Mr. Breezy.
yeah, yeah. Well, okay. I'll be 100% vivid. So me and my buddy were going to Waco, and we were eating a bunch of acid, and and went to a McDonald's, and I was like, man, I gotta take a leak, blah blah blah. And he's like, I'm gonna mac on this chick at the counter. And I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go take a piss, blah blah blah. And I didn't even recognize it because I was tripping, and so like, oh, there was a, what do you call it? The slippery don't wet sign,
Oh yeah,
and the door
slippery
was
when wet.
open. Yeah, yeah. And the door was open. And so I just went in there to go pee, and I was like, man, it's slippery. All right. I don't want to worry about it. So I'm in there taking a leak at the urinal, and this chick behind me starts screaming. And I'm like, what? Like, I thought she needed help or something. So I like turned around with my wang in my hand. And she's like, ah.
Pissing
I was
all over
like,
the floor.
oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm still peeing on the floor and shit. Yeah, so they called the cops, and yeah, I got escorted out of Belton, Texas. They were like, don't you ever come back again. I was like, all right, I got you.
I mean, I've never been
Yeah,
kicked out of
that's
anything before, but I imagine it takes quite an effort to get kicked out of a town.
I didn't mean to. It was
I mean, I
just,
guess it's better than getting
saying.
arrested for public indecency.
This is true. I didn't go to jail. This is true. But yeah, I was like, my homeboy, we jumped in the LTD and he's like, dude, what the hell? And I was like, dude, I
The
swear
fuck
to
out of
God.
before I get
I was
arrested.
like, I thought she was in trouble. I was like, I thought she needed help or something. Yeah. Yeah. Bad breezy. Bad breezy.
Shame on you, sir.
Yeah. Having to go pee. Yeah. But yeah, so there's a documentary right now. There's a 3-episode piece on, I think it's HBO Max. And and they're like 45 minutes a piece. And there's like an hour and a half one on YouTube about the Yoga Shop murders. And for any of y'all interested in it, I suggest you go check it out. They're pretty interesting. I mean, it's kind of like a never-ending cliffhanger because you're never going to find out exactly what the fuck happened. But it's
I wonder if they've done
tragic
a match against like Ancestry or 123andMe.
Well, see, so they only had
or 23andMe or whatever the hell it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so back then they only had one side of the DNA. They could only do the male side. So there's like
They can
1.2 million. Yeah. Well, according to the doc, there's like so many million people that could carry the same,
at
DNA
the time
trait.
probably of that, but here we are in 2025. That DNA is still available for testing. Why do we not run mitochondrial DNA against it? And this is a pretty high profile case. It's not like it's some like small town murder that nobody has ever heard of. Like across the US, I think the bulk of the people have heard of the yogurt shop murders.
Right. But I think what it was is a lot of I think a lot of it was the fire and the water damage, because they were, according to the coroners and all that, they were completely unrecognizable. They had to go through like dental and shit like that to find out even who they were. So like they burnt them up, and then when the fire, they just thought it was a random fire because it was well after it closed. So I think like it closed at 11. The murders happened at like 12. And then
the fire was
by the time
at 12.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah.
So the yogurt shop closed at 11. There was some couple that left just before closing time. Right. There. And then the fire was reported at midnight.
Yeah. And that's another one. The people that were the couple, they reported that there was these two straggler looking dudes that were leaning over the diner table and like talking to each other like all close. And they looked like I don't know what you'd say, nether Welbies, or not good dudes, you know what I mean? Yeah. So they tried to identify those cats, and a lot of the investigators from now, they're like, yeah, we know who did it. We just don't know any names or anything like that.
Right.
So they're like, yeah, we know who did it, but we don't have any uh, identification.
Mm-hmm.
So, it is what it is. But it's a very interesting rabbit hole to go down. And if anyone ain't got time to, you know, uh, do anything else but watch 3-hour documentaries, go check it out.
Yeah. I mean, it's like if you're into true crime, that's one of the big ones, the big unsolved ones. Especially for the state,
Yeah.
obviously, especially for the state of Texas.
Yeah, especially, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Because, Texas is only known for certain amounts of those kind of issues. You got like Uvalde and of course the Kennedy thing in Dallas, and you got the yogurt shop, and then you got the UT Tower, and then you got the Lubies. Because Texas is a very privately armed, let's put it that way, privately armed kind of a place where, you don't want to fuck around and find out.
Texas? No.
Yeah.
No, that's not the state that, if I were invading the US, I wouldn't start in Texas.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah. So that wraps that one up. And yeah, we got about, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes. You seen any good movies lately?
Trying to remember. I mean, not since we talked last about movies. I mean, I watch them to have something on in the background. I will say, like being trapped on that flight, because it was like a 3.5, 4 hour flight up to Portland. So no,
Yeah,
Seattle is 4 hours. Seattle is 4 hours. So Portland was like 3.5 hours. But I download movies to watch. And I was just talking to JoJo about it in chat. And, the two movies that I can always watch on repeat are Knives Out, the first Knives Out, because they've done like The Glass Onion and they're about to come out with the third one this fall. But the original Knives Out, I can just watch that all the time. And the Ready or Not, the horror movie Ready or Not.
Mm-hmm.
You seen that one?
Yeah.
It's such a unique idea. And it's what would scare me if I were in like a situation, not necessarily like Jason coming after me. This is like a satanic family that this chick marries into, completely unaware of. And she just happens like on the wedding, because let me back up. So this family is very wealthy and they've made their fortune by making essentially a deal with the devil. And anytime somebody marries into the family, they have to play a game. And usually it's an innocuous game like chess or checkers or, something mundane. But I think that's if you have the personality that can easily be manipulated by evil, you get an easy game. But if the two people, like the family member and this person marrying in, really love each other, or the person marrying in has good morals and they wouldn't be an easily influenced or manipulated person, they get the hide and seek card. And that's where the family has to hunt that person down and kill them before dawn, or the family dies. So either the newlywed dies or the family dies. And you're essentially locked in this giant mansion They turn off all the surveillance cameras, and you've got to survive until dawn. And it's like a lose. Like either you're killed or the person you love and married turns out to be complete a-hole and him and his family dies, or her and her family die, you know? So
Yeah.
Andy McDowell was in it. It's a really good movie. I can watch that one on repeat because it plays on my fears. Like if I could completely see something very similar to that playing out with some of these jacked up, like 1% family, not like beyond 1%, like 0.01% wealthy families, like the Rothschilds or something like that, some offshoot doing some
Right.
crazy shit like this.
Yeah, some Illuminati-ish type of.
Yeah, like I could, like it's fairly plausible in my conspiracy mind. It's something like that. Not so much Jason Voorhees in the woods, you know, although I love
Right.
but this, like when that movie came out, I was like, well, that's so original. And I mean, that totally plays on like fear that I would have.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I live in the woods, so yeah, I think about that all the time.
Still get creeped out by the woods. I'm not gonna lie. Like if you've not been, I feel like you have to be exposed to nature regularly to get comfortable with it. And even, I mean, I still like some woods are fine. Some woods creep me out.
Yeah,
but I don't think
I think they all are
out there.
Night, Mickey G.
Night, Mickey.
Love you. Thank you for coming in.
I will say, like when I'm walking through the woods in Oregon at night, I think of The Howling.
Yeah, really?
It's playing in my head as I'm like walking through the woods.
I think of the ocean when I think of that side of the world, like, because my uncle lived in Portland, and he would talk about the sneaker. I think we call it sneaker waves.
Those are all up and down the West Coast.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck that.
I grew up with that, so I grew up with that.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I'm not doing
Southern California, or if that's like Monterey North, like mid California North. Because where I grew up, they were 100%. Like you were taught not to turn your back on the ocean. You can't get down near the break.
Right.
Like, we're not frolicking in the waves where I grew up. They're great white sharks. There's sneaker waves. There's an undertow that will drag you out a mile. There's rip currents, and there's like the water's 52 degrees. You're going to get hypothermia and die. And let me tell you, hypothermia hurts. If you're in cold water, your joints like freeze up and it hurts.
I do that when the conditioning's on too hard. I'm like, I'm like, babe, hold me. And she's like, shut up. Go back to sleep. I'm like, I swear, I'm going to die. I'm going to freeze to death over here.
That's what it feels like if you're in cold water like that. Like that's how you drown. Like it's hard to move.
Yeah, I can imagine. Now I'm good on that.
Yeah.
I
have a healthy respect to the ocean. That's why I don't like deep water. I can't see the bottom of.
Yeah, no. The last time when we went to South Padre just recently, like everyone was out in the ocean and chilling, and they're like, Uncle Breezy, come out, let's, swim out here. And I'm like, no. Hell no.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah. Now there's bull sharks up in.
Yeah, swimming up rivers. Yeah.
Yeah, literally in like San Marcos River and the Guadalupe. I'm like, no, I'm good on that shit.
I remember moving here and being horrified that there were potential alligators in every body of water. every body of water. I remember the first time I went to a lake and it was like, beware of alligators. Don't swim beyond the swim area. Because I guess they had it netted off. And I was like, I'm not getting in
Right.
that damn water. I don't even want to kayak in that. I don't even want to canoe in that water.
Yeah, the first time I saw, I was in the Colorado, and everyone was chilling, like like barbecuing and everything, and like a 4-foot alligator garp came just swimming up, and everyone's like, "Oh, look, it's an alligator garp," and I'm like, "That fucking thing looks like it's from hell." Like,
Dinosaur. Yeah, no.
yeah, no. No, I'll
It's
just
all
stay up here and
bone and
barbecue.
teeth. I'm good. I don't want that. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I'll man the chicken. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not dealing with that shit.
I can swim in a swimming pool.
So I saw man, I can't remember the name of it. Oh, Until Dawn. Um that's a unique idea as well. That's a really good flick, man. It's new, so I was like, it's Zennials. Like, I don't know if I really want to watch it, but
Until Dawn movie
it's based.
based on
Yeah, it's a
based
new
on the game.
movie. I don't know what it's based on, but it's it's about like these cats to get put into this town, and
Based on the video.
and they can't get out of it, and yeah, they have to die every night. They get killed over and over and over. And if you get killed like 13 times or whatever, then you're trapped
That's
eternally in
Groundhog
this
Day for the
place.
killers. All right.
Kind of, yeah. It's kind of like Groundhog Day mixed with Friday the 13th, and then all the people that have been trapped in it are the killers that are in it. So it's like I don't know. It was really good. I enjoyed it. I was like, damn, that's an interesting idea.
Okay. I'll check it out.
Yeah, it was a good one. Yeah. And what else did I watch? Oh, it's called Venus. It's a foreign flick, which normally I can't stand them because it's just overdubbing like
Yeah.
old school kung fu. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
And but it was actually good, and not on the horror
Based on
tip,
Dreams from the
but
Witch House. Okay, that's jacked up.
I didn't
I
know.
already
that.
know. It's based on H.P. Lovecraft's Dreams in the Witch House, which is it's jacked up. Okay, I'm sure it is a good movie.
Yeah. No, it's actually dope. I was like, I was pulled in. I'll just put it that way. But not on the horror tip, but the Marvel superhero tip. Thunderbolts. I just watched that tonight, and that was dope. It was kind of like Brightburn. I don't know if y'all ever seen Brightburn. It's like, yeah, it's like
Are you talking about the one where it's Faye?
No, it's like the little kid. It's like if Superman got raised and then went bad. Like, yeah. Yeah, and yeah, it's I highly recommend it. It was a cool movie. Not a horror flick, but yeah, it was a good flick.
That looks kind of horror-y. I mean, if Superman went rogue, that would be bad. That would be bad.
Brightburn's dope. Yeah, Brightburn's. It's like when he starts learning his powers, and like people pick on him at school. You know, and he's like, and they're like, "Oh, let me help you up," and he like just shatters their arm. You know, like, and then he ends up becoming like an evil Superman.
Sure.
But he's a kid. You know, he's going through adolescence. You know,
That would suck a lot.
yeah. Superpowers. Yeah. I know what I'd do with those, but it wouldn't be hurting people.
You'd be up there with that X-ray vision.
I'd be wearing out that that lotion. But yeah. But anyway, yeah, that brings us to our hour and a half, and we will call it. And thank all y'all for joining in, and thank you, Monica, for coming in as well.
Of course.
I know it was normally your night, but
All good.
um,
I'm just going through burnout. I'll get back eventually.
yeah, I know, I dig it. I completely understand. But yeah, so to everyone out there, you got anything going on? What's going on with you?
I got nothing going on.
You got
Dude.
any shows?
I've got
You're
Rob's
not
show.
doing any shows?
That's the only one I can.
When is that?
Saturday at 10.
Saturday, 10 o'clock. Saturday, 10 o'clock. BMR.
Yeah.
Check out Monica.
Monica,
She is the star of the show.
Giving Rob shit, because that's my job.
That's what you do.
Giving Rob shit like I'm getting paid to do it.
Oh yeah.
Rob, sweet. He's really genuinely one of the nicest guys.
Yeah. No, he is. Jen just can't stand his voice.
Really? I like his voice.
Every time I come out and I'm watching him, or every time she comes out and I'm watching her, she's like, this fucking guy.
There's guy like
I can't stand his voice.
There's podcasters that Chris can't stand the voice of. He's like, I like the stories, especially narration like pages. He's like, I like the voice, I like the story. I hate this guy's voice. I can't listen to this dude talk. I get it. It's like,
yeah,
some voices just don't jive with you.
Yeah, there's this one dude, I don't know his name, but he has like one of those twisty mustaches. He's like, this one time. Blah,
I love him.
Blah.
That's Preacher.
I can't stand that. I'm like,
yeah, he's a little overboard. He goes a little overboard with the voice, but I like him. He usually has some decent. Man, he went off the rails like one time. I don't know what was going on in his life. He went off the rails in real time for about 2 weeks. That was interesting.
Yeah, I just can't do the voice thing. I'm like, great stories, but I just it annoys me to the bone.
Chris can't listen to. There's somebody he can't listen to. I don't know. I think like, who's the guy that Josh just really hates? Not Dark Waters, the other one.
Barton.
Well, no, like Big. It's just. He did the original like Dogman, like YouTube channel. He talks like.
Is it the other Josh?
No.
The dude with the beard and
No,
the.
it's not him. I know who you're talking. No, this is before him. This, I mean, I'm talking about the original like Werewolf Chronicles or something. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah,
Anyway,
that's before
just
me.
can't
Yeah.
stand him. Josh used to help him with this podcast. Like way back, they used to work for him. But anyway, Chris can't stand
Yeah.
the voice.
Yeah, there's something about that. I don't know what it is.
On tonight's show, like he's enunciating like everything. Like we listen to
Yeah.
so it sounds like he's on like Valium while he's trying to like he's fighting the Valium. Vic Cundiff, that's it. Thank you, Ollerson. Chris cannot. I love his stories. He will literally put me to sleep. I have to like put a timer on to turn YouTube off if I'm listening to him at night. But I mean, I used to put him on like way back in the day. I used to put him on if we had long drives and just listen to like YouTube, like the next video, just let it shuffle through. Chris was like, I can't, like, you need to not listen to this guy. I can't with this guy's voice.
I just can't do it. I can't do it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know exactly the feeling. I don't have many, but there are a few. But yeah. But anyway, everybody, y'all have a blessed night. And I don't think I'll be on. I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow. My schedule's all bouncy. So that's kind of why I went on tonight. And we kind of switched it up a little bit. So just keep in your notifications and we'll find out when the next time the Breezy Speakeasy will be doing the Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? But y'all have a good night. One love. Peace. God bless. Oh, there we go.